Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Let's Stand Gamers, and welcome. So today we're taking a look at another beautiful Steam Workshop creation. Now, this very menacing station in front of me is the Leviathan Starbase, and it's been created by JD. Now, this is an absolutely colossal station, and you'd probably never ever run out of a parking bay. Now, the only thing that I've noticed about it that is quite interesting is it's got these H pads in the centre. Now, does that stand for helicopter? Because I don't think there's any helicopters out in space. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below. We'll begin the tour. So let's actually have a quick look at this side. So from the offset, you'd think that this base is actually mirrored on either side, but it is not. These two sides to the left and right are identical, but the top and bottom, let's just call it the top and bottom, we've got two very different sort of areas indeed. Now, each one of the corners has these beautiful little solar / oxygen generation centers, and what JD's done as well is he has put himself a little catwalk around the side. Just look at the detail and the thought that's gone into each one of these areas. It is amazing. And then when you get inside, you realize that more and more detail has been put into it. So you can see these little struts that have been recessed in there, as well as these various different access ways, and these are little balconies looking out over that section as well. Just looking down there, you can see all these access ports as well as various escape pods that are down here as well. There's just so much going on that I definitely won't be able to cover this in a 10-minute video. Now, continuing around this side, we've actually got one of the hangar entrances from the sides. So you can see what they've done here is they've actually coated each side in these little vents just to give you a little bit of a direction from the ship, so you don't come really close and try to tuck yourself around into the hangar. I like the idea, as well as turrets protecting the side. Now, since this is, I'm guessing, going to be more of a trading station or a civilian type station, there's loads of adverts going on all over the place, like you'd expect in one of these large sort of stations. So as we venture a little bit into the hangar, you can see what sort of detailing we've got going on here. It is amazing. The only sad part of this is a station like this can't really be truly appreciated on a multiplayer level with Space Engineers, because this is taking up a hell of a lot of blocks and a hell of a lot of CPU usage. But there we go, we've got the south hangar, we've got all the markings all over the area, little platform steps so you can remember which parking bay you're actually in if you're S2 or whatnot, if you need to pay certain parking fines or different things. You can imagine a whole variety of different things happening like that on a station of this colossal size, as well as observation areas in the center to guide ships into the hangar. Let's pop back out before we get too lost inside, and we'll continue our tour of the exterior. So a little bit higher up, you've got these various observation areas that also bring a lot of light into the structure that I think is quite important as well. It's very nice as you're walking around the inside to be able to see what's going on, as well as a few protective turrets. And just look at the elements of detail here, just staggered them off, and like a lot of creators do these days, they've added that just to create a little bit of shadow, a little bit of definition on what would normally be a very smooth corner. So we've got another identical type solar area with the oxygen farm as well as an escape pod, and then we come around to the other side here itself. So we've got another one of these H pads that I don't know if it's just habit putting a H on a pad or it's just something to guide yourself in. Maybe it's not even H that. But you can see these various different ports, so you could have fighters, you could have smaller ships docking here, maybe this could even be a trade port on this side. You've got two of these really nice observation areas on either side to either guide or do quick meetings and deal with trades. This station could almost fit right into Star Citizen than the scale that it is and just the level of detail that's going on within each side. So as we pop a little bit further in, we actually enter into the hangar bays with elevators. Now, this room itself is just cool because look, we've actually got a drop style hangar here that leads to even more levels where you can dock. So you've got like a little maintenance hatch there where you can dock your maintenance mining ships and whatnot, as well as access to the whole of the lower section that just looks like some sort of oil rig as it thrusts down and is held in position with some of them thrusters there. But there's just so much going on within this design, it's so hard to cover. Let's actually have a look at some of these ramps. So these ramps on either side take us down to the lower deck, so you can launch a ship from there. Makes it a little bit easier than going through this main hangar if your ship's a little larger. But if we actually spawn our character in here and we access one of these buttons, we can actually control this. So you can see the piston elevator will now access and it'll take us up to this area where we can launch our ship from. So once we've got the piston elevator going, of course we don't need to open either of the hangar doors, and that takes us back up into that section. It's just lovely. Everything's been thought out so well. So you can see that docks into that section. That means you could either dock your ship below or you could come into the upper hangar area. Wow, This place is just amazing. It's on such a colossal scale. Let's actually have a look a little bit further up. So you can see we've got this catwalk that leads around the centre. This is all on top of the station, leads up to the main control bay. We've got the starbase right in there. Oh, so just, I love the level of detail that's gone into this thing. This must be hours upon hours of work, not if days. Actually, it's probably a few days work of this. So you've got these little hangar bays, so a larger ship could possibly dock in here and use these little doors to access, get up on the ship. Let's just have a look from inside out and see what it feels like. Wow, if a ship just flew in from the top there and landed, it'd be absolutely spectacular. Let's continue moving around the exterior. So over this side, we've got the same repeat again. And then this is the last side we haven't really explored. So you've got vents on the side to dock. So if it was more of a cargo area, I've got a feeling for this section. So you see we've got a variety of smaller hangars, maybe for smaller ships, but you've got the cargo bays that are perfect for offloading large supplies from larger ships on the side there. You've got the east hangar, and once again the important part is having easy access to these smaller ships. You've got the connectors, and you've got the connectors at various different points along the other side as well. So in total, I believe these are 8 either hangar bay from either side, so that's 8 ships that you could possibly dock there. And once again, we've got them curved areas that you can observe, med bay, replenish your health and whatnot, that then leads into the central area. Absolutely spectacular. So as we continue to get lost in the various areas in here, it's just set up just to be like a central hub. If there was hundreds of players on a server, this would be the place to go. But I don't see Space Engineers being able to cope with that anytime soon. I mean, you can try it on a smaller scale, but for this to be as busy as you'd want it to be, it would need maybe 500, 600 players a server just so it'd make this place feel less empty. 100 players, even if you maxed out your server, wouldn't feel like enough within this station itself. Just look at the detail in this segment over here in this hangar. This is a hangar that raises up into this section as well. Maybe you could have some sort of fight arena going on here as well. Let's continue walking through some of these interior parts and just see what we come across. Another airlock, another piston-based elevator, and this brings us back over to the other side near this observation window. Very, very nice indeed. Let's have a look through these corridors. Now, on my previous exploration, what I found out is there's a lot of room just like this, open, ready to be probably purchased and done whatever you want. Make a little apartment on the starbase, and then you've obviously got access areas into various different hangars. But just imagine building each one of these sections, working through the tunnels, working out how things connected. I'd love to know from the builder himself if he had a plan for this, if he had like drew up some sort of schematic, or he just started building it and thought, right, this needs to lead to here, this can lead around there, and it just took shape like that. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. It has been a spectacular, I can't even say the word, I'm so blown away by this station. It's just been amazing. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. There'll be a link to this in the description below, and